Good morning! Today is a day where we're doing some things that we planned on our own. Yeah, so we're going to Pixar. We're going to get a tour of the Pixar campus.
I'm so excited for that. It's going to be a short tour, but it's just so cool that we even get to do it.
Yeah. And then we're going to head out to the Walt Disney Family Museum.
A lot of you guys, when you found out where we were, you were like, are you going to do this? I hope you guys get to do this. So we are definitely doing it.
Yeah.
We hope you guys enjoy the trip. Like, we're very excited.
Yeah, and then later tonight we have dinner at a special pop-up down here at the same restaurant that we ate at the beginning of the trip, but it's a new area that's themed towards the Riviera.
Yeah, it's like a summertime pop-up. So it's really cute too.
Yeah.
But I can't wait. Today's like, I'm very excited for today.
Let's go do it. We did it. We made it to Pixar Animation Studios. All right, let's head inside. The first thing we see is a Cars 3 emblem on the road. This is neat. So we're on the Pixar campus now. Got the Steve Jobs building here. Lots of characters inside. I can sort of see some Cars characters, some Toy Story characters, some Incredibles characters, and I think we're gonna go in there later.
And I guess this is like the main building?
Yeah. And then right across here is the Pixar ball and the Luxo lamp.
This is really cool.
The outside of this building looks like Metroville in Disney's Hollywood Studios. That is amazing. Like, I didn't know that that area of Disney's Hollywood Studios was fashioned after the actual Pixar studios. This is the Brooklyn building, and this is where development starts on everything that goes through Pixar.
And they have a Heimlich car.
They do have a Heimlich car.
Oh no, I love candy corn.
This is actually a gym. There's like a pool over there, cardio, and then they have gym classes. So we're actually on the backside of the Brooklyn building, and there's one of the seagulls from Finding Nemo. Keeping a lookout. I know this is kind of strange, but it's the little things. So leading into the bathroom, there's a Mr. Incredible on the men's side and an Eve on the women's side. They also have a giant sculpture of Bruce and Dory and Marlin from Finding Nemo. Looks like an early rendition of Kevin over there. They have pool tables here for releasing some steam. Got to get those creative juices flowing. And they said that this is one of the only animation studios where everything is done in-house. And there's a giant fireplace right in the middle of it. So when they first started building this campus, it used to be the home of the Oakland Oaks baseball team. And so inside of this, what would be considered like, it looks like a fireplace, this is a little lounge where they kind of pay homage to the baseball team. And everything that they have here on display was found before they started construction. It's pretty neat. Oh, look at these old baseballs. You want to drink some sparkling orange phosphate?
I'm okay.
Oh, tomato catsup. So on the other side of what was the hearth lounge, this is the actual fireplace. And you can see there's the chimney that goes all the way up. There's Elastigirl up there with her bike. There's Miguel and Dante. Dante is one of my favorite characters from any movie ever.
This is awesome.
Yeah, and they said that they have hidden Hanks all over the place.
I love how he's like camouflaging himself into the brick.
Yeah. I also like how Hector is off in the background, just like keeping an eye on him. So here is the recording studio where they do actual voice recording for the movies, but instead of like active or like in session, they have standby and scare. And anybody that comes in to record signs like a little digital book. So this is John Goodman from when he recorded Monsters University. They have a full-size Bing Bong and his rocket. Do you know what powers Bing Bong's rocket?
I don't actually.
Songs.
Songs?
Yeah.
It sings songs?
No, you sing to it, and that's what powers it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. And does he ride in it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're riding it together. He's your imaginary friend.
Gotcha.
There's Heimlich. So this is a ride vehicle from Heimlich's Choo Choo Train that has since been removed from Disneyland. Got fully refurbished before being sent over here. This is amazing. We never thought we would see this again. So because animation is so labor intensive, they have periods of time, like 3 months before the movie is released, that they're just here all the time. And so they have all these amenities to kind of keep them healthy and to keep the creative juices flowing. So you got a volleyball court, a basketball court with the Pixar ball in the center, a little picnic area, swimming pool, like a lap pool. They got some grills over here. I mean, I know that it's a lot of hard work making these movies, but it kind of looks like fun looking at this stuff, right? And there's a fitness center over there. Now we're making our way back into the Steve Jobs building. There's Luigi and Guido from Cars. This is really neat. They're like full size.
Well, it's weird because I can literally, like, as soon as we rounded the corner and we saw them, I can just like picture, like, I can hear them talking on the ride about how like our white wall tires look so great. And,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then they also have a full-size like setup of The Incredibles. Oh, I like how Elastigirl's hand is almost 3D looking. Look at this tiny Remy and Emile. They're adorable. Inside the lobby here, they have a display of all the awards that they've won. These are Academy Awards right here. For Coco, Inside Out, Brave, Toy Story 3, Up. Man, this is cool. Wall-E, Ratatouille, The Incredibles, and Finding Nemo.
There's even a Nickelodeon award, the Kids' Choice.
They have Lego versions of Buzz and Woody.
It's cool to see these because the ones that we have at Disney Springs are all like sun bleached.
Oh,
so
yeah.
These are like nice and bright and shiny.
Yeah, and then a Toy Story 4 marquee behind you. All the way at the back, right now they have this giant Bo Peep picture. It's really interesting to have something so gigantic and just to see the detail up close. So earlier we showed you the new audio recording studio. This is the original audio recording studio, and there's a giant wall where everybody that has come through will sign their name or did sign their name. So like Owen Wilson, Christian Shaw. We'll see what else we got. There's Larry the Cable Guy here. This is really neat. To Infinity and Beyond. That's Andy. Young Andy. I like that. Ooh, there's Patton Oswalt there. Tom Hanks and Charlie Day. Richard Petty.
Is it?
That's pretty interesting. So here is the recording studio. This is the original recording studio. And this is right in here. So like Tom Hanks would have been standing behind these microphones recording Toy Story. Pretty amazing. Also, do you guys hear how quiet it is in here? I know that this camera sometimes has some strange audio issues, but we're inside of a recording studio now and it is extremely silent. And like, they're talking out there and I can't even hear them just standing in here. The door's wide open too. And they told us that they have 2 microphones set up. So like, this is the main audio that they're recording. So you talk into this one, but if it gets too loud, then the secondary microphone can be used as like a backup track. Now we are headed into the Pixar Studios store. So we're definitely gonna be buying a few things in here. Like some of these button-down shirts. Yes, will do.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe a nice Pixar hoodie or sweatshirt. Even though this isn't my size, I might have to get this because it's amazing. They only have extra larges left, but this is an amazing t-shirt. Look at this book with the little green aliens dressed up like all of the different characters from all of the different Pixar movies. I think my favorite one down here is Miguel. So there's a little cafe here. It's called Cafe Luxo, and this is all food that they have for today. These are the specials. That meatloaf looks delicious.
Everything looks so good.
And so do these bowls here. They got like eggs in there. Burmese curried chicken noodles. Wow. And then they have pan-fried crab cake. From Chef Patrick O'Connell. He is a James Beard Lifetime Achievement Award winner.
Wow.
Wow. So the food that's here is actually subsidized so that it's very, very reasonably priced for the employees here at Pixar.
They're really to die for, and you can.
So out here is a little amphitheater. So we're just outside. That's the Steve Jobs building. And this is a little amphitheater. And then all around the outside of it are all of these little apple trees that were planted when Steve Jobs passed away. And a lot of people may not know that Steve Jobs had such a huge role in the history of Pixar. Pixar started out at Lucasfilms as a division of Lucasfilms, and then Steve Jobs and Apple bought them, and then Disney bought them from Apple. So that's the history of Apple or Steve Jobs with Pixar. And look, little teeny tiny apples on there. So off the beaten path over here, there's a little hidden section, almost like a tree house, where you can have a picnic up here, or like a little swing, a rope swing. And it's just like little hidden areas back here for somebody to come in and relax. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that happens around here, or a lot of the relaxing areas, would be for, you know, clearing your mind, making sure that you've got the creative energy to keep producing the Pixar animation product. And then looking back at the Brooklyn building, this is back where we started. There's the other seagull sitting on the top of the building. So it was a pretty quick tour of Pixar, but we're all done now.
But it was like Fast and Furious. Like
Yeah.
we saw so much stuff in such a short amount of time.
And there was some stuff that we couldn't show you guys that we got to see that was amazing.
There was so much artwork that was just really neat, and it was employee artwork, and it wasn't anything with like projects that we aren't supposed to know about or anything. It was projects that are already done.
Yeah.
But it was just really cool to see like the employees' interpretation of the art for Pixar.
Yeah.
It was cool. And oh, and the employee like lounge areas and their offices.
Yeah.
They were so neat.
It was amazing.
They were all like themed after different things. It was just like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. And so now we're headed to the Walt Disney Family Museum.
Yeah, this is like the day that I was so excited about.
Yeah. So let's go do it.
Yeah.
Here we go, the Walt Disney Family Museum, celebrating 10 years of magic. All right, our first stop in the museum is actually the special exhibition for Mickey Mouse. So we have to go outside and follow the Mickey Mouse stickers to the next building.
I don't know how long this is going to be here. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, just so you guys know, if you're coming while this exhibition is here, the Mickey Mouse one, it's $35 to do both the Walt Disney Museum and then the Mickey Museum, or
Right.
the Mickey exhibition, just so you guys know.
Ooh, look, we get almost a perfect view of the Golden Gate Bridge, soaked in fog, overlooking the 101. That's what all that noise is. But there it is, there's the Golden Gate Bridge. I feel like since we walked over here, the fog has gotten thicker at the top of it. So it's running until January 6th, 2020. So kind of a little bit of time for this exhibit. From Walt to the world. I hope that we never lose sight of one thing. That this was all started by a mouse. Wow. These are original sketches? It's amazing. Wow. This is like movement of the shot throughout the background. So after reading some information here, these are all Iworks drawn animation cells. Or, I don't know if you would call this a cell, but it's an animation frame. This is a cell, yeah. These were all drawn by Iworks. This is that one cartoon where Donald has like 45,000 flutes and he keeps interrupting the band performance. There's a letter from Walt Disney to Charlie Chaplin, and there's a picture of Walt Disney and Charlie Chaplin.
He was just thanking him for his invaluable advice and help in the exploitation and selling of Snow White.
Oh, this is kind of interesting. When people laugh at Mickey Mouse, it's because he's so human, and that is the secret of his popularity. There's Walt Disney looking at the Mickey Mouse Now in Technicolor publicity poster, and there is the poster right there.
It's a really cool poster.
Yeah, these are some rough pencil sketches of the Sorcerer's Apprentice segment of Fantasia. It's really interesting to see how it starts out as these pencil sketches, and then eventually makes its way to a full-out ink and paint animation cell that they use in the final movie. Like these down here. They're there are little activities that you can do in the museum, and one of them is teaching Jen how to draw Mickey Mouse.
Only Jen, though.
Only Jen. Nobody else in the museum. No, just kidding. There are other people that have done it, and they're turning out. Like, some of these turned out amazing.
Look at this one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at the mini.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're gonna go.
Oh, yeah. Look, there it is.
Oh my gosh.
We'll just pretend like we drew this one.
You definitely. That's amazing.
I think Mickey looks right at home with one of our shirts on. Wanted to say thank you to one of the volunteers here, Karen, for drawing this for us. It's really amazing. That's Mickey Mouse. I think you did great.
I was trying to, this is the one I was doing right here.
Yeah.
I was doing a very rough, like 3-second sketch.
It looks really good.
I think his nose might be a little too small.
A little stubby, but that's okay.
It's Mickey's cousin, Maki.
This is all Mickey Mouse merchandise.
Do you see this?
Wind-up tin toy where a plane flies around and the train also goes around. Mickey and Minnie marionettes. This one's also cool. He like flips around.
I like this one too.
Oh yeah. What is this thing? The sign here says that he was holding onto a rickshaw that a child would sit on, and that would be the carousel. Does that make it a carousel or a merry-go-round?
I don't know.
I don't remember. One of them was only horses.
I can't remember which one.
The new restaurant at the Riviera is called Il Topolino. There it is, in Italian. Mickey Mouse. Walt Disney's Topolino story. These are the original Mickey and Minnie Mouse stuffed dolls, which you can actually buy one now that looks sort of similar to this, a reproduction. Wow. This is absolutely amazing. It's got Horace and Clarabelle and Mickey and Minnie and Pluto. Kind of looks like Pluto's head moved around at one point too. And maybe like the lantern on the front of their car shook. Mickey moved around. This is what the description of what we were just showing you was. Not much. Just an auto ride store display from 1935 made of paper mache. Look at Walt here. He's like, messy hair, don't care. One of my all-time favorite things to do is to be able to look at these pictures of the different versions of Mickey throughout the park. Some of them were, I guess the right terminology would be interesting. Then we move into Mickey in contemporary art. Ward Kimball did that one. He did this sketch, and he did this plate.
Really cool.
So we got the lowdown on this, and this is a piece of artwork that was hanging in Bob Iger's office, and it's on loan from him. Painted by Damien Hirst, and it's literally called Mickey for Bob. This is some art done by Tennessee Lovelace. Really cool. I really like the way that these look. This is neat. This one kind of showcases the San Francisco area. So we're here at the Walt Disney Family Museum, Golden Gate Bridge. You know, the winding roads through San Francisco. Across the Bay Bridge is Pixar.
This is like a kind of like a hidden Mickey.
Oh yeah, look at that. And there's the trolley. This is neat. Who did this one?
Ciaran Norris did this one in 2018.
And I think it's called Generations.
Yeah, you have all the different Mickeys.
Oh yeah, look at that. This is a Warhol right here. That's really neat. Super glittery.
Now we're at the, like, what Mickey Mouse looks like now. So this is the pie-eyed Mickey from the Mickey Mouse shorts. And they call this rubber hose animation.
It says that it's a distinctive and flexible animation style that allows characters to move as if they have no bones. Kind of like this, like,
Yeah.
he doesn't have any bones here. He made his leg into a staircase. So we made it all the way through the Mickey Mouse portion of the exhibit, and now we're headed back to the main building to go through the Family Museum. Real quick, I just wanted to show you guys, we went up into Walt's apartment in Disneyland that's over top of the firehouse, but they have some of the furniture here from it. Wow. We were reading through this and we found out that among them were Hughes D. Isney, and it was anglicized to Disney. That is amazing. So like, it was originally not Walt Disney, it was Walt Disney. There's baby Walt. So we're just kind of going through Walt's early life. Through Marceline, Kansas City, Chicago. And then they have some examples of some of Walt's early cartoons that he drew. Also, this one's an original right here. And they go into how Walt wanted to join the army and he became an ambulance driver. So they even have a replica of an ambulance that Walt would have driven for the Red Cross during World War I. But they didn't do it exactly like Walt's ambulance, because if you look at the picture here, he drew like a little soldier on the outside of his ambulance. And then we go into the creation of Laugh-O-Gram Studios. You got different pictures here, different employees of Laugh-O-Gram. There's the building in Kansas City. There they are. Ub Iwerks, Walt, and Fred Harmon. This is like the original three right here. They have a 1920 Universal camera.
It says this camera cost him $300.
Whoa.
I wonder what that would have been at the time.
I don't know. It was 2 years old at the time, too. They got it in 1922. I don't think it was this exact camera, but this is one that is the same make and model of the one that they used. Here you can see a picture of it right there.
Okay, so $100 in 1922 is the same as $1,428 in 2016, which would have basically been what, like $4,500?
Yeah.
Wow. So he paid about $4,500 in today's inflation rate, today's money.
Well,
That's a lot, yeah.
just to put it into perspective, $300 for a camera when somebody was paying me $50 a month to draw pictures. Wow.
Wow, I wonder how he saved up to buy it.
Oh, 6 months worth. That's half a year.
I know.
We got in a train car and we're leaving. Where are we leaving? We're leaving Kansas, heading to California.
When the big day, the
Kansas
day
City, so Missouri, right?
Yeah.
It's free and happy, you know.
And now we're in Hollywood.
I said, I've got to get something a little unique. Now, they have the clown out of the inkwell who played with the live people. So I reversed it. I took the live person and put him in the cartoon field. I said, that's a new twist.
So they got some moving posters here for the Alice cartoons. These are neat. Oh no, she's beating that kid up.
He looks like the kid from Matilda who ate too much cake.
Oh no. Now that he's in Hollywood, he can afford 2 cameras. How much do you think these cameras cost? This does say that this camera was the workhorse of Hollywood and that Walt bought one when he got to Hollywood and adapted it for stop motion animation. I wonder how. Animating Steamboat Willie. This is an amazing wall right here. I love this. There's some ladies having fun over here where they're doing like Foley artistry. They have to create the sound effects for the cartoons.
I want to do it.
Yeah, it's like, remember Sounds Dangerous?
Yeah.
So we have to try to play these instruments exactly with the video. So we're gonna give it a try. So you gotta turn your crank to that time. Turn it. Oh, now I've got the drum. This one? I have too many things to do. What's this one? I say we did pretty darn good.
Did we get to hear it?
No, I think that was it. We did it. Oh my. All kinds of different Mickey Mouse.
I love this.
A tricycle?
It just looks really cool.
Yeah, I would leave that in our living room.
Yeah, right? Like a piece of art.
This is amazing right here, right? So that watch and like now an Apple Watch
Oh,
with
yeah.
Mickey on it. That's pretty ridiculous, right?
Yeah, things have changed a little.
Right? What the? You can't do that. And then this is, it wouldn't be like a script, I guess, but this just tells you what's happening in each scene. Like this, Mickey is lowered on a boom beside the cow on the dock. Mickey puts straps around the cow, and the cow gets the strap caught around its bag as it's being hoisted up. Mickey grabs its tail and gets shot with a squirt of milk. Some original drawings from Plain Crazy. The earliest known drawing of Mickey Mouse. There it is right there. Wow. So this was after Oswald had been stolen from Walt. So he had to switch it up, and he came up with Mickey Mouse, originally named him Mortimer. There's Oswald. This is a rough animation sketch from 1927 as a gift of Diane and Ron Miller, because Oswald was a character that Walt had, And then it goes through and tells the story of how Walter Mintz took Oswald from Walt and all of Walt's staff, and he said that he could do it for cheaper. And these are actual telegrams from Walt to Roy. And then it goes over here and says, like, we need to have contracts so that we don't lose our staff ever again. And then I love how he ends it with, don't be alarmed, everything is okay. Then we head into the 1930s, which is where I feel like Walt really started to shine, with such greats as Walt Disney's Mer Babies. I think that these are actual paints. I don't know if these were from the ink and paint department, but this one's literally from Donald's set. So maybe it says display and limited use only from the Walt Disney Pictures ink and paint department. We're gonna settle this once and for all. Goofy developed from a bit player into the simple-minded Dippy dog. He was a dog.
And then finally into the classic Goof. Yeah, he's definitely a dog.
Definitely a dog. Everybody always says he's a cow. And I say to those people, no.
But I understand why they think that, because he had like a relationship with Clarabelle the cow.
And he sort of looks like Clarabelle. We're into the Snow White section. And look, that's that meme.
That's funny.
This is one of the only times you'll see a photo of Walt with a cigarette in his hand.
This is the picture that's in Carthay Circle in like the little lobby waiting area.
Usually they edit out, but you can see this photo here and at Carthay Circle in Disney's California Adventure with Walt with a cigarette.
So as we're walking around this section of the museum, which is the Snow White section, we took a really cool, detailed, in-depth tour at Carthay Circle. We had an amazing tour guide. I'm going to link that video down below. I think if you enjoy this, I really think you would enjoy that tour at Carthay Circle. But if you can't go and do it yourself, watch the video and check it out, because there was some really neat information that we learned. But I'll link it down below, and it'll be up in the corner.
It's this side.
Oh, it'll be this corner.
So in order to be able to draw wildlife correctly, they literally are like, here's a deer. We brought a deer in. Also, we brought in an elephant so that you knew how to draw an elephant. Then we moved over to Pinocchio, and one of the things that I really like is that they have a lot of maquettes here. So this is like a little sculpture of Pinocchio that all of the animators used to make sure that they were all drawing Pinocchio the same way. So we saw one of these at the Walt Disney Archives, but this is a multi-plane camera. We're looking down at the top of it, but when we go down to the gift shop, we'll be able to get a better look at it. Then we head into post-war production. This is actually a really interesting looking room. It's got all of these different screens all around the room showing different things. Look at this. So we're into 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and this right here is an underwater camera. It doesn't have the top to it, but this is it. This is the camera that was inside of this giant case, and you can kind of see them using it right there. Like if you look, you can see the bottom few knobs that are identical to the knobs here on the outside of the case. Here's something that I had no idea, but apparently Walt liked to collect miniature things. So these are all miniature items, like a miniature organ here. Oh, when Walt got into nature films, so when they had to start using these gigantic lenses so they could sit really far away from the nature and not disturb them, but still film them. So like this is a 400mm lens. Pretty intense view of the Golden Gate Bridge out here. And the fog. Oh, you can actually sit on it. Yeah, it says have a seat. This is one of the benches from Griffith Park. We went there. Are you like dreaming up stuff?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a theme park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
We'll put that link to that video down below so you guys can check it out. We rode the carousel and we saw another one of these benches.
Fun fact, we've seen all 3 of the remaining benches. There are only 3 left.
Oh yeah, because there's one at Disneyland.
There's one at Disneyland, there's one still at Griffith Park, and there's one right here.
Oh,
We did it.
that's cool.
A mission accomplished. This room is intense.
Oh, I love it. It reminds me of Epcot.
Yeah. This is awesome. And we are getting into Disneyland. We got Walt's love of trains. Here, oh look, there he is. That's his house.
That is?
Yeah, so he had like this miniature train set up all around his house. Here, look, there he is. And it was called the Carolwood Pacific. And he's sitting on this little seat right here, driving his little train.
That's pretty intense that it could hold, because there were like 5 fully grown men on this train.
Right.
Wow.
There's Ward Kimball driving around Salvador Dali. on the Carrollwood Pacific.
This is awesome.
So the yellow caboose was the only piece of the train that was not meant to be ridden on. And here it is all the way at the end. Has like a little miniature scene inside of it too. There's the scene on the inside of it. I think one of the most incredible things about Disneyland is that it was just proposed in 1953 and then it opened in 1955. This is the original model of the Fantasyland castle designed for Walt Disney. Wow, there it is. The Circle Vision camera. That's amazing that that's just here. There it is, a giant model of Disneyland. You got Autopia, you got the People Mover, you got Small World back here, you got Storybook Land, the Teacups, Carousel, Peter Pan, Mr. Toad, there's Tomorrowland over here, Space Mountain, the Hub, the little tiny castle, Nature's Wonderland. You know what's right here now?
What?
Galaxy's Edge.
They were leaving it open for Star Wars.
Right.
I knew it was coming.
Tom Sawyer's Island over here. The Matterhorn. There it is, New Orleans Square and the Haunted Mansion. Pirates of the Caribbean over here. This is neat. The Jungle Cruise. So right here, this is what it would be like if we were flying in a helicopter over top of Main Street. It was the home of the future. And then when we talked about the Circle Vision, right there, Mission to Mars. Oh no, wait, this one was Mission to Mars. Quick, name this cartoon. We got the ticket books. So depending on what ride you wanted to ride, it was either an A ticket, a B ticket, a C ticket, a D ticket, or an E ticket. E tickets were always the best. Now there's the camera that I really want to know how much it costs. Look at this thing. That's one heck of a camera. It's a Technicolor camera. Oh, this one I think is actually from Walt Disney. Like from the company. Mostly because it says right there. This gearhead for sure is. Got some personal items of Walt Disney's here. Oh look, there's his 100,000 mile club from United Airlines. Oh, this is amazing. It's like a cigar tube from when Walt's grandson was born. And then Walt's glasses, his reading glasses, and his valet box. And then we end up in 1966 with Walt Disney's death. These are all cartoons in honor of his passing.
This is Pat McGinnis. At 9:35 a.m. today at St. Joseph Hospital in Burbank, California, Walt Disney, the master of an entertainment empire, the most considered influential showman of this generation, died. He was just 10 days past his 65th birthday.
Wow. It's pretty interesting that a lot of them have this, like the world is crying. This is quite impactful. That was the end of the exhibit, and we end up out here in the gift shop at the bottom level where the multiplane is. So before we were looking at it way up there, and now we're down here. And you can kind of see some of the different panes of glass that held the animation cells that gave it some depth. So tonight we have reservations at a pop-up at the Quattro restaurant called Riviera. Here we go, we're going into the Riviera by Quattro. Ooh, I like that they have, oh, there's a little Vespa here. Oh, that's neat. You could take a photograph on the Vespa and it looks like you're on the Riviera. Ooh, we have a little fire pit here. La Bella Vida. The beautiful life.
I feel like this is romantic.
Oh yeah.
Aww.
And warm.
It is really warm.
Warmly romantic.
Oh.
Feels good. So I wanted to give you guys a look at the Riviera menu really quick. Oh, and here are the little drinks.
Oh, so we got I think we got the Portofino spritzer minus the vodka, so it's like a virgin spritzer.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cute.
It is. It's got little fruits frozen in ice cubes too.
I know, I love it.
And then they also brought us out this bread, which is a brioche that has a smoked mozzarella inside of it. And then it has this little bit of salt over here. So you put a little bit of salt on it. And it's just, we had this the other night too, and it was delicious. Oh, did you just try the drink?
I did. It tastes like a fancy lemonade.
Oh, fancy lemonade.
A fancy sparkling lemonade.
So he brought us out a special hand-pulled burrata with pine nuts and heirloom tomatoes. He also said something that was very, because we've been like talking to the chef. He said that there is a Johnny Jump Up salad in here.
I don't know what that means.
I have no idea what that means. I'm gonna look it up. The flowers are called Johnny Jump Up or pansies.
And they're edible.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's really, he said he was gonna start out light and kind of end on a heavier note.
Which is, it kind of blows my mind that we're starting with cheese for the light.
Yeah,
option.
but it is a light flavor because it's, I think the lemon kind of makes it light. And it has like a sweetness to it.
Yeah, and an acidic flavor to it too.
Yeah, everything really balances. When he said everything was gonna like balance out, it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you need to just get a bite of everything.
Yeah. So this is the 22-ounce Australian Wagyu porterhouse with new potatoes, olive, roasted tomatoes, and caper berries. I've never had caper berries.
Me either. They look interesting. I want to try them.
I bet you they taste like caper berries.
So I got the grilled octopus with an arugula salad, and there's like a white balsamic glaze or dressing, and then there is also some pecorino cheese, shaved pecorino.
This is absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
So with the porterhouse, it's actually two different steaks. So one side is the tenderloin or the filet, and then this side is the New York strip. And it's really interesting to taste the difference between the two. So you take a bite of the filet side and it's super tender, melt in your mouth. And then you take a bite of the New York strip side and it's more flavorful because there's more fat on this side, but it's not as tender as the filet side.
But it's Wagyu though, so both sides of this are going to be really tender, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the bone being left in makes both of them taste even better.
Also, I had a bite of it just because I couldn't not try the steak. It looks so good.
Right.
And you could cut it with your fork.
Yeah.
Like, that's how tender it is. And we had Wagyu in Japan, and I think that was probably more tender.
Yeah.
But this was still very, very tender.
I am not a seafood fan, as you guys know. But this octopus looks delicious. It's a grilled octopus that was sous vide first, so brought up to temperature and then just like seared on the grill. That is a very interesting flavor.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Describe it to me.
I mean, it tastes like seafood, but also like kind of like a salty seafood,
Like briny, like ocean flavored?
but not entirely ocean flavored. I think you'll like it.
I do, yeah.
Yeah?
It does have like a little bite, like a little...
Almost like a snap, like a hot dog.
It doesn't taste like a hot dog.
Doesn't taste like a hot dog. But it's a more dense meat. How about that? I just came back to the back fountain back here, and they have all these fun little photo ops. This is a very Instagrammable place to eat. I mean, take for instance, look. I know it's kind of dark right now, but this, you could be Instagramming this. It's perfect. So what an excellent day at Pixar, and then over at the Walt Disney Family Museum. And then we ended up back here at the Four Seasons for the Riviera pop-up.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
There was so much stuff packed into this day.
Right?
It was a lot, yeah.
It really was.
But it was really fun. I had so much fun at Pixar, and the Family Museum we learned so much, and we saw so many cool things, and dinner was amazing. Yeah, it was a great day.
I also don't think that this video could do the Walt Disney Family Museum justice, because it is a learning experience, so there's a lot to see and to absorb and to read and to experience. So like we kind of gave you an overview of what was there and some interesting things that we saw, but there was so much more.
Yeah, we gave you like a couple of little highlights, but it really, we could have spent like 6 hours there.
Easy.
There was so much to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Riviera pop-up, food was delicious. The theming was amazing.
It was so cute. I really felt like we were I've never been to Italy, so I can't say that I felt like I was in Italy, but I felt like I was not at the Four Seasons anymore. I felt like I was somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even though it was kind of chilly out, it still felt like a summer night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was really cute. I think it would be like a really cute kind of a date night type thing.
And you can get some good Instagram pictures. So all in all, a fantastic day.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we are off. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Elise. I'm from Walnut Creek, California, and now it's time to pay the price.